But when I listened to Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he said white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to this country. Yes, maybe they're putting Muslims in jail in Afghanistan, I think you mentioned, and China. They're putting a lot of more black people in jail
but
here.
Can I ask, because we've had this convo before.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. The View did a segment on the decline of patriotism. Not the most patriotic bunch from what I can see, but they did this segment in response to a poll that was just released showing that only about 38% of people think patriotism is important in this country, and that's a decline from 70% in 1998, according to the poll. So we're about to get into this, see what they're talking about. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we watching. Now let's roll it.
And trust me, there's a lot of reasons to be frustrated with our country, with our politics, but one of the things I'm just most grateful for is I had the opportunity to travel all over the world with the U.S. government, whether it was, you know, to Iraq or Afghanistan, to war zones where people are relying on U.S. leadership and support, or developing nations where we're providing international aid. We've got plenty on the domestic front to work on, but the world relies on American leadership. And I know my friend Joy always likes to say, but look, Denmark is so great, or France is so great, and we can have that convo.
Finland too.
But if America is not the #1 global power, it's not going to be Denmark. It's going to be communist China, a country that right now the government is imprisoning Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. It is a deeply racist government. It's a human rights violating government. It is a government that if they're the leader of the free world, we are not a free world the way that we are right now. So I love this nation. I think we are the greatest nation on earth, despite our flaws. And I would also finally say, nowhere else in the world do all these women sit at this table. I think the ability to be able to rise quickly and in one generation change your outcome is amazing.
Listen, we all know.
I think she made some good points there. I think people in this country are just very unappreciative of what they have, of the opportunities that they have. People often talk about Denmark, Finland, and Sweden, these Nordic countries, but those countries don't have nearly as many people to deal with in terms of population. They don't have nearly as much diversity in terms of the population, in terms of ethnicity. You know, comparing America to Denmark and Sweden to Nordic countries is almost like apple and oranges. And another thing is, you know, these ladies right here on The View always talking about diversity. But as a black person or Hispanic, whatever you may be, you go to a Nordic country, you'll stick out like a sore thumb. This notion that if the Nordic countries are doing it, then we could implement it too, falls flat on the fact that those countries and America have two entirely different sets of problems and, you know, challenges that we facing. And for some reason, it seems like only people on the right will ever mention anything about China. Like Alyssa Farah-Griffith said, if America falls as the #1 global superpower, then it'll be a nation like China that'll fill in that power gap. There are incredible human rights violations that occur in China. China isn't anywhere near as diverse and inclusive as we are in a country like America. But people on the left seem to be very quiet about that. They don't really get up in arms and outraged about things that go on over there. Maybe if it was a LGBT problem going on in China, they would be more vocal. But since it's a religious group, nobody cares, I suppose.
Oh, it's a great country because we all have benefited from some of the great things about this country. But kids today, who are young people now, are looking at this country and they're saying, if I get sick, I could become bankrupt. If I go to college, I could be in debt until I collect Social Security. You know, there are shootings on a regular basis in this country. There are major things that are happening here that are making people turn against the country. And those are just some of the things. And I think that access to the internet has caused a lot of people to say, gee, they can do it in Denmark, they can do it in Sweden, they can do it in Italy, has national health even, you know, and there are many countries in the world that really do take on these issues. And so we're thinking, are we that exceptional anymore as we used to be? Yes, we're a powerful country, we have the best military, but what about the people?
Well,
Again, comparing America to these Nordic countries is like apples and oranges. It's easier for them to do because they have smaller populations. Now, a place like Canada, for example, where they have health care that's paid for through their taxes, some complaints I've heard about from over there are that the treatment isn't the greatest. It takes a long time to actually see a doctor. It's no competition because, you know, it's all paid for through tax dollars. And one of the downfalls of that is that you'll have more patients than the doctors and staff can actually treat and treat efficiently. And I could only imagine a system like that here in America with as many people as we have and as unhealthy as we are. We're also more unhealthy than these other countries in which we're speaking of. We're more unhealthy than the UK, than Canada, than these Nordic countries. So maybe we should focus more on health and promoting living a healthy lifestyle, and that could help us a lot in the long run. Just my opinion.
You know, Sarah and I, we've had this discussion about the flag and that.
Oh, that's another thing.
But
I put my flag out because I don't want Republicans to think that they own the flag, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a liberal Democrat.
That
flag goes out every year on my porch.
And that's the issue. It's been the notion of patriotism and the notion of America and the American flag has been co-opted by the right as if they are true patriots. But when I listened to Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he said white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to this country. And so as a woman of color with a 6'2" black kid in college and a 5'7", 5'8" black kid in high school, I don't see that part of American exceptionalism. I'm sorry. No. I think this...
Sunny Hostin is trapped in what I would consider the sunken place. The fact that she actually believes this just because the FBI director said it. People on the right are considered conspiracy theorists, but it's interesting when these conspiracies turn out to be true. I think we're smart enough to know that you can't trust it 100% just because it came from the FBI. And of course, that's the same line of logic that the media will take and run with and use it to stoke up anger and fear and division within the country. I think that's one of the biggest issues we have as a collective society here in America. The way the government will lie, the media will run with that lie, use it to fearmonger people, and then you have citizens like Sunny Hostin who believe everything 100%. She takes the bait, hook, line, and sinker every time. She's helping to push this narrative that as a black person in America, you need to be scared and you need to fear for your life when you walk around outside or when you drive around outside because some white person's gonna come and kill you if you do the wrong thing. If you don't act stupid, if you follow the law, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you mind your business, you know, you'll be fine in 99.9% of all instances. When you hear the way people like Sunny Hostin talk sometimes, you'll think we living in the Jim Crow South. If I had a son that was 6'2" and black, I would tell him to behave yourself, conduct yourself well, follow the law, don't do nothing dumb. You'll be all right. Now, I don't actually think that only people on the right love this country or can love this country, but people on the left need to realize that although maybe everything in our past wasn't, you know, the greatest. Maybe some things did need a little bit of change. It's only people on the right and people who are moderate that are willing to conserve some of the values that we've had in this country for a long time that actually do benefit. And it's people on the left pushing this progressivism that just want to flip this country upside down and change everything. So there has to be some sort of pushback to progressivism. And you know, you don't hear people on the right saying how much they hate this country and that they want to leave this country. They'd rather be in Canada or Sweden or Norway. You hear that from people on the left. I would definitely categorize the right as more patriotic than people on the left because all people on the left do is complain. Complain about capitalism, complain about Republicans, complain about white supremacy, but yet reap all of the benefits that comes with living in this capitalistic America.
Country has a lot of problems that could be solved. Yes, maybe they're putting Muslims in jail in Afghanistan, I think you mentioned, and China. They're putting a lot of more black people in jail
but
here.
Can I ask, because we've had...
Look, she didn't even know where. Alyssa Farrah-Griffith just said it at the top of this segment that it was in China, not Afghanistan. She don't even know where. That just goes to show you how little she actually cares about real human rights, you know what I'm saying, in general. And, I mean, let's just be real. People aren't just going to jail for no reason at all. People commit crimes. That's how you end up in jail. Being a criminal is how you end up in jail. We just gonna skip over that fact. Criminals belong behind bars. I don't care what color you are, black, white, blue, yellow. If you out here committing crimes, you out here terrorizing, you out here breaking the law every day, you know, stupid people win stupid prizes. Stupid actions win stupid prizes.
Had this conversation. What, on the issue of race, what country on earth do you think would be better? Would you rather live in or feel like is more inclusive?
Yeah, where I'm not a minority, I felt real good in Ghana.
I don't think this is about race. This is...
She said, I felt real good in Ghana. Okay, you feel real good in Ghana. Well, we just did a video on how the African leaders passing legislation to, ban LGBT. Okay, go over there and go to Ghana and complain about LGBT rights and see how that work out for you. Again, just Americans being privileged to all of the freedoms that we have, the freedoms of expression. These people will talk about how great other countries are, but you will never see them uproot and actually leave and go live in another one of these countries. Never.
This is about a promise. Well, no, it's not. I mean, this is really about all of the things that we believed we were doing that we don't do anymore. We don't teach people that it is your right, your birthright to vote in this country. It's a gift. We don't teach people what their rights are as human beings. You don't treat me, you treat me like I'm just money thing there for you. You've taken away you've increased my taxes, given me nothing for it. You haven't made it better, you're making it worse, and then you're surprised that people are going, basically, I don't feel like this is America anymore. It's not, it's many, many things. It's
increasing taxes, that sounds like it's right out of the Democratic playbook. That's why people leave blue states, blue cities, and go to red states and red cities. So I guess Whoopi was talking about the left in that closing statement, but that's it for the video, you guys. Please let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. This wonderful conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe when you're at the door. And until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.